Stories of growth and transformation. And the mold was broken, so there is no replication. See, my style is so versatile that there's no limitations, because I spit that dope without hesitation. But then I spark that shit and blow smoke to your occipital. Because I intoxicate your mind and I hijack your visuals. See, the kid is one of a kind, in fact, is unequivocal. My name is Sam Coop, and you can call me the original. That's it. It sure feel good to be here, y'all. I'm just not right on here. See, when I was trying to decide what I was going to do tonight, like always, I started thinking about life. And I kind of thought about, I don't know, how I want mine to be viewed. And for me, I think I wanted to be viewed kind of like, I don't know, maybe like the Louvre. A place where I can serve as a co-curator. You know, right hand to the creator. Serving those around me with beautifully blended melodies of art and history. Free-flowing galleries where my life lessons are the centerpiece. Each hall will be perfectly lit. At every exhibit, you hear the original spit. And on tonight's tour, we're going to start with this. And then you hear a click. And at first, I was a little leery of laying my soul on these pages because of how easily they may ignite. And the last thing I wanted to see was my dreams up in flames at 451 degrees Fahrenheit. Phrases up in smoke, words dying with each ember, letters fluttering in the ashes like butterflies in September. I guess I was afraid that if my life became locked within these lines, I'd be reduced to a mere memory. You know, chapter after chapter soaked in these tears, reeking of kerosene. And the friction of my frustration sparked the most wondrous inferno, burning everything that I love, scorching everyone that I know. But with eyes engulfed in flames, I set fire to the gasoline coursing through my veins. That is, until I imploded into this beautiful heap of ash, and was only revived by placing pen to pad. Upstroke, downstroke. That's the wind's momentum catching blood flow. It rolls these ashes into a double helix. And that's when I decided it was time to put my life between these lines and give birth to the phoenix. There you go. You know, writing a book, it ain't easy. Writing poetry, it ain't easy. Because bearing your soul is one of the hardest things for a strong person to do. I'm sure y'all can relate with being a strong person somewhere, somehow, with somebody. Probably everybody. But to do that, it takes some self-reflection. And when I looked at myself, I realized that every time I realized what I was feeling, it was too late. I was in front of life's mixing bowl, wondering what elements to conflate. Standing at a crossroads with this sinking in my soul, like part of me is trying to carry a weight that's just too heavy to hold. I guess you could say I was caught up in a whirlwind. Because I knew it was only a matter of time before my world ends. I was teetering on this ledge, contemplating my destiny, this world, this life, this pain. That shit was getting the best of me. But then these seconds stretched to minutes, and then into hours. I found I was slowly being eaten by my very own superpowers, so I sought moments of solitude. So that these rivers could flow fluidly, I extricated. Attempting to speak of feelings more fluently, but I still lacked understanding. See, feelings was still a dead language. But I knew at any moment I could be vanquished, stricken into the darkest abyss. And that fate would be inevitable unless I resist. Resisting this gravitational pull on my soul, that shit only made me stronger. Because I could let rage control the will of my life no longer. The root of my anger had finally been identified, and the taste of its discovery was as bitter as cyanide. But now I'm flushing my system by pouring thoughts through my fingertips. Also ridding my life of any and every single hypocrite. And that left me in the mirror with a whole new perception. You know, a new take on myself, because this was my inception. That process of budding, it's uncomfortable yet beautiful. And my voice was now blooming and it would grow irreducible. See, I no longer sit meekly while the real me is suppressed. Because I know now I am the superpower. It was never something I possessed. My name is Sam Cooper. I'm a fighter, a warrior, a trooper. I'm made of pure magic, that's what courses through my veins, and when it's all said and done, I'll be much more than just that name. See, I know now I'm more than what's written on paper. More than my personal list of shortcomings, see, I'm so much greater. I transcend any letters that follow my name and any title because I descend from greatness and it's time for my arrival. And so that left me on this runway preparing to soar because that's just what happens when you finally realize that you're so much more. Yeah. So, when you bearing your soul and you reflect on self, you done decided what your internal problems are, you can't solve them without looking at what caused it, right? You're going to look at where you came from. You're going to look at what you've been through. And when I took a deep look at me and my life, I realized that I was just strong enough to double dutch. Somewhere between feeling adored and overlooked. Between living free and double booked. Between appeasing you and pleasing me, and somehow I make that shit look easy, see? Because there's being an outsider while feeling like an outcast. A graceful public high flyer that privately feels you got no gas. So I don't ask. Because I'm still trying to process the truth. Then I can release the news that kid said, Coop, she got daddy issues. And it's not abandonment or abuse, just grown ass kids ain't so cute when your old man is out here entertaining hoes that's as young as you. I'm talking money hungry bunnies that's high key scared of you. Because they know that you knew off the rip what they came to do. Yet these observations will be viewed as worthless. So you sit back and you watch that shit play out wordless until there's a call from the Reaper. Or he realizes he just can't keep it. Well, then he needs somebody to cry to him. Boom. Guess who? The grown ass kid is now doing the shit strong friends do. And I wonder why she's stone faced with an icy heart. Because she carried these sharp ass thoughts that tear her soul apart. And then she drips that shit into every work of art. Let's just say this kid got off to a very early start. See, I've been taking his feelings of inadequacy and embedding them into piece after piece. So I wrote and rewrote lines until them fine ass lines define me. And while I was busy becoming well-defined and refined, that image gave me vision so I could finally see. Problem always been his. This shit ain't even been about me, which is probably why it hurt so bad. Because time and emotional support, shit, that's all I ever asked. But since he couldn't give it, I had to become mentally tough. Just so that tidbit didn't weigh so much. And so I fought and I fought until I was strong enough to emotionally double dutch. Stop bearing my soul, right? I had to come up with a title. It's the hardest part, right? You never wrote a book. The title is like, what the fuck do I call this thing? So I just, had to review everything. And was like, well, I guess when it started, I was lost. Wandering aimlessly in this wilderness. And a reflection in these pools had grown so villainous, I was on the brink of a breakdown. But outwardly, everything seemed calm now. Realistically, 7 times a day, I feel as if I'm drowning, and this ringing in my ear has my head and heart pounding. This weight on my shoulders is compounding. This confusion is astounding, and I would close my eyes and scream with all I have, but my voice box had been smashed. My vocal cords had been shattered. My consciousness and self-esteem was battered. I was lost. I guess I was also broken. And I was standing here pouring out words unspoken. Unloading my soul to this reflection, unveiling these feelings that escape detection. And day in and day out, that pain, it went unnoticed, and so I retreated to my room for days, but no one questioned my motives. So I confided in this pen, this pad, and this application because that happened to be my safest sedation. That outlet is my Valium. Took a minute to settle in, but once it kicked in, I could let y'all in. See, I was lost. Navigating this life ever so blindly. Being sifted through these grates ever so finely. But then there came this revelation. And see, it quickly began to shift my narration. It said, you're too caught up in everyone else's needs. And in the midst of the commotion, I forgot about me. I forgot who I am, so obsessed with what someone thought I was, and too damn preoccupied with someone else's lack of self-love when all the while mine was neglected. And I was wondering what this woman really expected. Like, how was I supposed to get out of this hole that had been dug so deeply I had already been engulfed completely? I was lost. Until one day, this chick in the mirror, she began to make murky thoughts clear. And at first the point was a little hazy, and when these cries turned to conversation, I felt a little crazy, but she guided me to something familiar. And eventually, I began to recognize myself in the mirror. And so I embarked on a journey with my foot on the gas, and that shit just wouldn't have been possible without the whispers from beyond the glass. And there's your title. So before our last stop on this first tour, I want to let y'all know I got merch on the table. I have books on the table. I only have 5 with me today, sorry, but it's also available on Amazon. And I have business cards on the table. I also have QR codes, so you can follow me everywhere. I would tell you, but you're not going to put it down right now, so it doesn't matter. I'll be back. Okay? So I wrote the book. I put the book out. And then I had a little more self-revelation because I reflected, but I didn't do nothing about it. And after I put it out, I said, even though I was lost, I searched until I found my work. And I dug deep into the depths of my soul until I discovered what being a queen really means. But for you to understand how that uniquely defines me, I must first define the term queen, right? Quintessential royalty, unmatched elegance, extraordinary power, evolutionary eloquence, non-negative perspective. See, with all of that and the strength of 10 men, I put my family on my back and I still tread lightly like I'm waltzing on clouds. Yeah. I intimidate demons and reverse vile intention with calm correction and smiles. I've got a depth of perception so deep that the seas feel like puddles, and I love with a breath so wide that I touch the souls of all others, because I am the earth. I am the wind and the sea, but I am as deadly as the fire when you step incorrectly. So when you think of Black excellence, please don't forget to mention me, because I walk in the true definition of a queen. Thank you. Guys, we're going to look semi-interactive. Everybody close your eyes. Think about somebody who has a voice that just makes you melt. Ooh, y'all found it. For me, Tyrese can sing my rolls off. So that's where I go, right? Okay, pop them back up. So now you got that voice in your head. Imagine a conversation with them where you let them know that you're infatuated with the sound, the way it drips from your lips, flows through my auditory canal, caresses my eardrums, and gives my inner ear the business. See, it ravages my senses. I close my eyes and clench my thighs, but just as you reach your peak, you cease to speak. And I seek for repeat because you sound so unique, it pleases me. See, it seduces my synapses and my mind collapses. It lures me into a new dimension, arousing my intellect while releasing tension. All while fucking my cerebellum and rendering my mind blown. And the vibration of your vocal cords as you push air across them releases the most hypnotic waves. My pupils dilate, my insides shake, and I slip into a daze because I lust for your auditory expressions. Your voice penetrates my most perverted thoughts, permeating throughout my dreams and conquering my fantasies. It's damn near erotic the way you twist me mentally, leaving my acoustic nerve climaxing repeatedly, but continuing to sound so smooth. Managing to draw me in as a moth to the flame, this voice without name may just remain, but only as long as you continue to narrate my hallucinations. See, you've captured me with your articulation, this admiration. It's my drug of choice, because I'm infatuated with your voice. So I guess, there's love in relationships, and then there's love in relationships. We're going to touch on both of those in this session, but we still on that first one, that love and relationships. Not necessarily loving ones, but we'll get there, okay? So it was this one dude. He was fun to be around. We was cool. And he just did something to me. I had to tell him, I get so high on your energy. See, your presence, that's my own personal dispensary. And between me and you, there's this crazy affinity, but I'm not trying to fuck with anybody's salinity. So I stay on my side of the street and you on yours. Because if we walk together, the rumors will spread like spores. Planning sporadically and growing into deeply rooted lies, and before this good thing can bud, it'll meet its demise. There'll be no drawing it out, no breaking it down, no rolling it up or passing it around. See, even though you give me a constant contact, any further pursuit would be an infract. Because you know that I know you're in a situation and you say she's not your girl, but there's plenty of speculation. See, she's all in my inbox checking up on you. And while I thought about being petty, that just may not be the move, but I went for that shit anyway. See, I told her you got me high today. You came near and you smiled and you took my breath away. It's like I hit this shit too hard and I couldn't chase the compliment. See, I'm just playing. I spared you that drama because I prefer to steer clear of those types of subjects. Yet, for some reason, it's still like you're my own personal botanist, my herbal and emotional mixologist, because you keep me high on your energy. Like I said, your presence is my own personal dispensary. And you just keep taking me higher, opening these various portals of desire that continuously takes me to a whole new high. That's our first stop on the buffet line. Our next stop on the buffet line is more people-wide. And y'all gonna hear me sing twice tonight. I can't sing my way out of brown paper bag with a hole in it, but y'all gonna hear it, okay? Don't judge me. I'm not a singer. I'm a poet. Sometimes. Other times I just get up here and talk. Freedom, freedom. Don't make that face. I can't move.
Golden, go ahead.
Freedom, cut me loose. I'm a prisoner, detained in this war of morality, held captive by the overseer of my mortality, locked in this dungeon that was designed especially for me. I don't know how, but he found a way to entrap me. And then he tied about 12 tons to these chains, and each must be labeled with one of life's pains. I can't see them, but I feel them. I mean, why else would I be here? Being tortured by my fears, persistently waterboarded with my own uncried tears, being haunted in the darkness. While maintaining visions of freedom incarnate, see, I have hope. I have hope that she'll come for me, and she'll shine her light and cut me free. But she dances silently if she's near. Because in this solitude, I am all that I hear. My heart racing, my heavy breathing, I only hear me and my blackness. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I'm sleep deprived. I am also peace deprived. See, I thought centuries had passed since she'd arrived, but I guess I must have missed her. Or what if they're caught and kissed her? See, if freedom is dead, how will I ever escape these chains? If freedom is dead, these screams are in vain. If freedom is dead, I'll slowly go insane. Crazy. That's right, I'm going crazy. Because I'm locked in this room alone, waiting for freedom's late ass to carry me home. But I can wait no longer. Nor will I let my morality be conquered. See, in this rebellion, I must grow stronger. So I'll break chains all by myself. Won't let my freedom rot in hell.
Feels like my soul.
I must break free. I will be free. Oh wait, I get it. I see now that freedom is me. Ain't no chicken lights, but I ain't got hot. Sorry. Check this. I've got these things. And these things, they're actually wings. And these wings have been so tightly bound by these strings that it's taken me forever to free these wings. But once they were free, I learned that they were S-T-R-O-N-G. Now see, for generations, there's been such mystery around how I can endure such misery, but it's finally all starting to make sense to me. See, these wings, they shine so vividly that they're invisible to the naked gaze. See, my wings have been cloaked in BL, A-C-K. Instead of. And these wings, these things, they've been beautifully crafted by the hearts of queens and powered by the radiant sun's beams. So let me break down what this really means. These wings, they're not extensions of my skin. They're appendages of my soul. Because I am W-O-M-A-N. And see, they were designed for much more than flight. They wipe tears at night. They fill foreheads and rock babies to sleep. They've even picked up strong men who have fallen weak. These wings, they've birthed nations. They've raised and buried generations. They've carried the weight of the world, and they've nurtured every little boy and every little girl. They proliferate just so I can be in two places at one time so that I can take care of others while I'm busy squeezing dollars from dimes. So I guess it's time I tell you the secret behind these wings. They were forged from gold and reinforced with titanium beams. With downs of diamonds and coverts of pearls, these wings are the most beautiful treasures in the world. But evil comes to break each one down individually. You know, picking at them gem from gem and beating on them brutally, but to no avail. Because the strength in these wings will always prevail. Gifted from queens and kings, these brilliant, solar-powered, diamond-encrusted wings, they're a source of light, and they're a source of life. Forever immortalized and mandated by the world's insanity, these wings, they belong to the keepers of humanity. So COVID made me a mommy, so y'all get to hear some mommy shit. All right. Don't say aw, because it's probably not that. She's aw. She's like, please. But being pregnant in grad school during the pandemic is probably, a lot to take. It's a lot to take in your head, right? And so I found that my mind was in the midst of a metamorphosis. It was manifesting dark thoughts. Pain was seeping through each of my orifices. These synapses were in knots. I guess I was mimicking medicated meditation because I had never been this type of sober. And I couldn't reach a safe level of sedation. I just wanted the nightmare to be over. I was tossing. I was turning. I was caught in deep sleep. Having dreams about nothing. I guess my imagination was failing me. Maybe because when I closed my eyes, my blood boiled and my thoughts began to blister. See, I had become so tightly coiled, those screams were amplified and sorrow was a transistor. But I awoke in the midst of that inferno, unfazed by the flames. I rose from that darkness knowing that I could never be the same. See, I was now impregnated with change. And these chaotic chimeric concepts, that shit was flooding my brain. And these visions were growing far too strange. But I guess even strong minds break in the midst of a metamorphosis. And no matter my level of resourcefulness, I was struggling to piece together the pieces. As I prayed that the creativity never ceases, so that I could continue to provide an anecdote that art is the antidote that counted me from dropping a note in the envelope and becoming a ghost. And that healing was my paradigm shift. And it quickly reminded me that this life is a gift. And bringing it across the rift, that was one of life's greatest accomplishments. And the love that it brought with it is limitless, but not without consequence. See, she is the impetus that forced me into the sun's rays. And for that, she has spent each of her earthly days mending mama sutures. As I fought for her future, she came and she swept my pain away. And she carried me through a metamorphic birth. That one got a little deep. Write it down. But she is.
Girl, wait till she's 14. That way. Girl, she is my angel right now. She's smarter than me. She knows everything more than we do. No, so wisdom on this one.
Daddy got her.
Her daughter must be. This is the most crazy, 14 of the most craziest people say. I mean, a little bit that they're strong. Like, my daughter's got me right now. That's all I have to say. You can't even imagine it, 14 years out. You just wait and see.
I couldn't imagine today, so I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get into that. But, she's a little slice of heaven. Ooh-wee. My baby's got a smile like the sunrise. She brings sunshine to my day. See, I brought forth light in my darkest hour. I faced life events from which I've always cowered, and I dug deep to harness my feminine power so that I could fight the wilting of an unbloomed flower. But then I shook the risk of deep infection, as I felt the pain of them sewing up my C-section. All so I could bring forth sweet, pure perfection, and her face completely made me forget my dejection. That is, until I learned of my non-functioning kidneys. Can you imagine the shock and terror that shit sent me? With strength on my face, but my mind in a frenzy, I was quickly reminded of the fear that was deep within me. See, for once, I couldn't put matter over my mind. My mental and physical had become misaligned, all while my nightmares and reality were becoming intertwined, and I was hoping the only thing that would be passing was time. That is. But yet, I returned to the circus, a reimagined ringmaster, unable to thrive because my thoughts and emotions were scattered. I struggled to adjust because my ability to cope never mattered, yet I was still working the big top like the shit was never shattered. But then there she is. Her and our beautiful connection. Her love, it successfully helped me hide my depression. And I guess her affection helped as my deflection to show the world that I ain't got all the protection. But see, I'm not looking at you. I ain't trying to do that. So maybe they'll kill her off there. Damn! Her affection helped me to successfully hide my dejection. And I've got this ever-growing list of things I deplore. And life just keeps pouring salt in this never-healing sore. Then she smiles at me. She makes my heart swell with pride. And she reminds me to take this life in stride. And hearing her laugh, it's worth every tear I've cried. So I watch her in amazement. And I escape into her vibrancy. Because my baby's got a smile like the sunrise. She brings sunshine to my day. And with sparkling eyes like starry skies, she sweeps my sadness away. That's for my baby. I ain't gonna leave y'all sad and crying though. I ain't gonna leave y'all all in your emotions like I just did. I'm gonna lift you back up, because you can go through all that in the midst of the pandemic. You find out that I am a queen. And I exist in this state that is so serene while I breathe as a mortal. Steady yet labored, and I walk as a goddess. Smooth, weightless, and favored, but in all reality, I am a titan. See, my skin absorbs the light and that shit shines like diamonds. This skin is molecularly magnificent, and this melanin works magic even when the concentration is quite different. See, it fuels my body by capturing the sun's rays and exudes excellence in numerous ways. See, without this melanin, you'd have no keratin. That piques your interest and keeps them coming like heroin. See, keratin is what builds your crown, which demands their attention whether it's twisted up or it's flowing down. It accents your digits and emphasizes your rings. It covers your head, your toes, and everything in between. And see, that's what makes me phenomenal. Because I can carry the world without disrupting a single follicle. And I reek of femininity and uniqueness in the way I carry these curves. That shit is pure genius. And I personify grace when I'm so tightly bound, and there's limitless versatility rooted in this crown. But what makes me a titan is that my presence is impactful and my light just might be blinded. And for that reason, I'll make an impression with every step that I take, in every room that I enter, with every move that I make.